Okay, so basically in the last session, what we have done is we have done a detailed discussion on how can we use a different login controls, right? And basically that login controls will help you out, right, to implement or to enforce the security into your website. Fine. So basically, we'll just start with a new website, right? And in this website, right, see, let if we are just going through a toolbox, right, so here there is a separate categories there. So first let me add default.aspx, and here in the toolbox we have a separate category that is called the login category, and that login category is having control, ready control, which is used for change password. Let's suppose if you want to allow user so that he or she can register himself or herself into the website, then what you have is you have a create user wizard control, right? Another control, let's suppose if you want to authenticate the user, right, so for that the login control is there. If you want to show the name of the user, then what you have is login name control is there. Login status control already we have used, and it is showing a login for the logged out user, for the anonymous user. And let's suppose if the person has given username and password, so at that time that link login gets changed to a logout link, right? So basically, up to here we have discussed the various controls which is available to enforce, we can say, login and authentication into the website. Now we know that the main use of this implementing a login is to protect our website from unwanted users, right? So we want to secure our website. So basically, how can we secure our website? So today we are just trying to focus on that thing, right? So first thing, that is, in my today's session, obviously we are going to use this login control, because without login control obviously we cannot manage the users and all. So we need to use a create user wizard control, we need to use a login control and all. So we are just going to use this login control. Not only that, by using this control we are just trying to secure the website, right? So some of the pages we are just going to create into the website which will not be accessible by some anonymous user, right? Or some of the pages will be accessed by a specific users, right? So in my today's session we will try to we can say highlight the security feature. Now before going into the detail of how can we enforce the security, one more thing that I would like to discuss with you people, and that is called a role management, right? So what is actually a role is nothing, it is a some sort of a group, right? So let either you can say a group, right? Now it is a group of what? It is a group of users. So let's suppose if you have a user 1 here, you have a user 2 here, you have a user 3 here, and we are putting all these user into a group, right? So this is my group 1 here, right? This group is, we can say, is a role in the ASP.NET, right? So role is nothing, it is a kind of group of what? Users, right? So here multiple user can belongs to a one group. Now the question is, sir, what is the advantage of making this group, or making of or creating of a role? So the user the, we can say, advantage of this implementation of the role is quite simple. See, let's suppose you just think of, there is one file is there, right, and I just want to share that file with you people, right? You just consider you are coming to the lab regularly, and I don't want to share it on a public platform, right? So I don't want to share that particular file on a Telegram or on a WhatsApp or other using media. The thing here, I just want to share this file into our lab only, right? So I just want to share this file so that every person of a third year student, every third year student can access this particular file, right? So you just think of how can I have to assign a security. So on this file I need to give a permission to the ABC user. Suppose if the roll number 1 is ABC, I just have to do the right click on this file. I need to go into the security. I have to add this user, and then I have to give a read privileges, and then I need to click OK. Suppose if the second student is having name XYZ, again what I need to do is, if I want to share this file, right, or I want to make this file accessible to this XYZ user, in that case again I have to do the right click here on this particular file. I need to go into the security. I have to add this XYZ user, then read or write whatever privileges that I want to share with this XYZ user, that I have to do, and then I need to click on OK. Then suppose another user PQR is there, again the same process I need to repeat. Right, now you just think of, and the TY we have a more than 120 students, right? So is it feasible, I just want to share one file with you, all you people, right, all the student of the TY, right? Here, individually I am just doing a right click on the file. I am just adding a one user, then I am giving a rights, and then I am clicking on OK. See how many times I need to do the same process? For 120 times, right? And it is a very time consuming. So what actually we are doing, we have created a user, we can say it is BCA, for example 18, right, because your enrollment obviously has to be done in the 18, no? So 18 is your enrollment year. So what we are doing is, this is a group of a TY student, because see in the 18 you got enrolled, so obviously 19 and now 20, in the 20 you are in the TY. So here what I am doing is, I am just creating a group called BCA 18, and then all the students, whenever I am creating the students, I am just making you people as a member of this group. Are you getting this? So ABC, XYZ, PQR, obviously there are 120 students are there. All the students are a member of what? They belongs to a one group which is called a BCA 18. Now suppose if this is a file and I just want to share it with all the members of this BCA 18, what I need to do is, I just need to do the right click on this particular file. I need to go into the security. I have to select this group only, right, and then read write whatever privileges I want to give, that I will select, and then I will click on a OK button. Make sure here I have given a privileges to the BCA 18 group, and whatever members are there of this BCA 18 group, they can have or they can access this particular file, right? So this will be a quite simpler, na? Rather than giving a individual rights to individual student, right? What we are doing is, we are making a group, right, group of the user, and whenever you are giving a rights to the group, obviously that thing will be accessible by all the student, all the members. And one more thing, let's suppose now I don't want to give a access, right? Currently examinations are going on, and in the exam this note should not be accessible, right? So I just want to remove or revoke that privileges. So again, what I need to do is, I do not have to go into the property and individual users I have to remove, right? What I will do is, I will just revoke the permission from this group. Once I am just revoking the permission from this group, no member of this group can access this file, right? So how easily we can do this, right? So here, this is what we can say importance of the group in the case of security, right? Here, in the Windows we are calling group of the user. In the ASP.NET we are calling it as a role. So role is nothing, it is a kind of group of the user, right? Fine. Now we are just going into the detail, and we'll see how can we enforce this, how can we enable this role, how can we create the user, and how can we secure our web page. Fine. So here what I will do is, I am just placing, say, we'll just place a login name, right? And here I am just placing a login status. Fine. Not only that, we know that whenever user is clicking on this login link, user will be redirected to the login.aspx. So we need to create login.aspx. So here I will write, say, login.aspx. Fine. And here what will we do is, we will put a login control, right? You can change any format whatever you like, and along with that we will just create two more pages. One is for sign up, and another page we will make for change password, right? Or not change password, forgot password. Fine, so this is here. We'll place a create user wizard. You select any template, and when you are taking this create user wizard control, you just need to set one property, and that is called continue destination page URL. So when the user gets created, user will be redirected to the default.aspx, right? So this thing, and one more page that is for a forgot password recovery. So here we can say we'll write, okay, so forgot password, and here what will we do is we will put a, we can say this password recovery, right? So this is a password recovery. Last time we have gone through this particular control, right, how it is working. And you know, to utilize this particular control, what you need is you need a SMTP, right? Let's suppose at the end of the you know, in the project, let if you feel, okay sir, I just want to use this particular control, but I don't have, you know, that SMTP, then fine, if you have a Google, you know, if you have a Gmail ID, right, if you have your account on the Google, then we can use that, you can say Google's SMTP into the project, right? So that can be done, right? Fine. Now here what we are doing is we just need to give a link, right, of both the pages to the login page. So here either you place we can say links here, link button, right, or what you do is you just convert this into the template and you just place a two link button here, right? Oh, link button 1, and here you put another link button, right? In this link button we will set say new user question mark. If yes, you just click here, and whenever user is clicking on this link, user has to be redirected to a sign up page. So I'm just giving a postback URL to the sign up page. And the, you know, second link button, in the text property you need to write forgot password. If yes, click here, okay? And whenever user is clicking on this particular link, we just have to show which page, this password recovery control we have to show, right? And first thing, that is, let if you are just running your default page, at that time we know that it will show the username, right? Because currently we have just created a new website, and whenever we have creating a new website, the default authentication mode is what? It is a Windows, right? What we need to change is we have to change it to a form. So to do this, what we need to set, we just have to click on this ASP.NET configuration tool. We need to click on a security, right? एक second. Okay, fine. Now see, let you just click on this ASP.NET configuration tool. You need to click on a security, and here you are getting the message that current authentication type is window. User management from within this tool is therefore disabled. Now we just need to click on a select authentication type. Here the default will be what? From a local area network, right? From the local network means authentication mode is a Windows. We just have to change this, right? From the internet means authentication mode will now get changed to a forms, right? You just need to click on done button, right? So now it is showing what? Existing user is 0 user. Fine. Now you just close this, right? And see, you just go to the web config file, and here one line will be automatically written, and that is authentication mode forms. Okay, fine. Now we'll just create one or two user. You can use this ASP.NET configuration tool, right, to create the user, or directly you can create the user, because already we have constructed a sign up page. So I just want to create the user. So first the user, I just have to access your default.aspx or the home page of the website as an anonymous user, right? And then I will just click here, say login, because I haven't created a user yet, right? So that user who doesn't have a registration on the website, that user will simply click on a new user, right? So I'm just clicking on a new user. We'll just create a one user. So for example, here I'm just creating a user. Fine. This is the email, security question, right? And all this thing we have discussed, right? Fine. Then you just click on create user, click on continue, right? Okay, so see that property continue destination page is it is not setted currently. So now what we need to do is we just need to go ahead with a default .aspx. Fine. And here what we are getting is welcome ABC and logout. So one user is created, but basically what you need to do is here in the sign up, you select this particular control, create user wizard control. You need to go into we can say property, that is continue destination page. Oh, instead of continue destination page URL, we have set it cancel destination page URL, right? You just change it. You just go ahead with a continue destination page URL, this one, right? And here you set default.aspx. So after creation of the user, when user is clicking on a continue button, that default.aspx page gets opened. Fine. Now one more thing that we have to do, we have created one user, right? So here it is showing existing user, there is one user is there. Okay, fine. Let's suppose if you want to create one more user, you can also create the user from this administrative tools too. So here you just create the another user, for example XYZ. I'll just write say XYZ123 and dollar, XYZ123 and dollar, right? Here say XYZ at right, and this one, right? Fine. Now see here, when we are creating the user, at that time the right hand side pane is showing a roles, and it is showing what roles are not enabled, right? So we have not enabled the roles yet. Fine. Now you just click on a create user here, whether this user has to be active user. So yes, so tick mark, by default tick mark is done, and we are not doing any modification, right? Let's suppose if you want to create the user, but you want to restrict the user, right, so that he or she cannot logs into the website, right? And after some certain check you want to allow that user, right? So you just need to do the active user. So you can create the user and you just remove this tick mark, so that the user will be created, but that user will not be allowed to logs into your website. Fine. So now there are two users are there, right? Okay, fine. Now you just go to home security, it is showing there are two users are there. Fine. Now let's suppose we just have to give a security to the website, right? How can we secure the website? So there are many users are there, and different application can have a different hierarchy, right? Usually we are thinking of one simple online shopping website, right? So how many different type of users that we can consider for this type of website? Online, simple online selling website is there, right? So here the first user, that will be anonymous, right? So this will be Anonymous. Now what will be anonymous? Anonymous users are nothing but they are the simply visitor, right? Anonymous user are that user who has not done a login, right, into our website. Anonymous user are that user, he or she has not given a login credential such as username and password. So anonymous user are nothing, they are the visitor. Now will you allow this anonymous user to view your home page? Yes. Will you allow this anonymous user to see the various categories of the product? Obviously yes. Are you going to allow this anonymous user so that he or she can see the product, see the category, or compare the products and all? Yes, we will allow. So what you will not allow to the anonymous user? Obviously anonymous user cannot do the shopping. Shopping means what? Anonymous user is not allowed to give the order, right? Shopping orders, right? So we are just restricting. If you want to shop something from our we can say website, then you have to use your username, password, and you have to do the login, right? So the second user is called authenticated right? Authenticated users. Authenticated users are those user who has given a username, password. That person is passed through a, we can say authentication process, right? And that person is a valid user, right? So what authenticated user can do, obviously whatever thing is allowed for this anonymous user, those everything we are allowing to the authenticated user. Plus additionally, what authenticated user can do, authenticated user can do the shopping, authenticated user can see the status of the previous orders or the current order, right, in the pipeline. He or she can see the payment details and all. So we are allowing this pages, on these pages we are allowing authenticated user. But these are the pages like viewing a past record or payment history or shopping. So these are the pages on which anonymous user is actually not allowed, right? So this is what normal hierarchy is there. Now you just tell me, let's suppose in this website authenticated user can insert the product. This is the database, right? Now you just tell me, as a being authenticated user, the ordinary user, right, can you insert the new product? No, right? To insert the product or to delete the product, what we need to do is we have to create a special user which is called admin. So here the third category will be there, that is of admin, right? So here the admin user will be there, and admin user will add the product, admin user will modify the product, right, and so on. So here three different type of users are there if we are talking about a simple basic e-commerce website, right? So anonymous user, most of the pages like that can be viewed without login. If you want to shop, if you want to see your orders, if you want to see the status of your orders, obviously in that case you have to log in, right? You have to be an authenticated user. If you want to insert the product, if you want to insert the category, you want to modify the product, then you have to be a admin. So here what we are doing is, if you are going through my website, so these are the pages, right? Default page is there, forgot pass is there, login is there, sign up is there, and these are the pages where everybody is allowed, right? Whether you have done a login or not, right? Sign up, obviously who will do sign up? Visitor, right? Login, so whenever you are opening a website, at that time you will be a visitor, anonymous user, and after logs into this we can say login page, through the login page you will be a member. Okay, then here we can say default page is available to all, right? Forgot password, available to all. Fine. Now what I want to do is, I just want to make a page which will be available or accessible if and only if the person is doing a login, right? Person who is anonymous user, that person is not allowed to access that page, right? So how can we do this? So here what I will do is I will just create a new folder first, and we'll just give a name to this folder that is called secure pages, right? Now those pages, right, which it is not here on those pages, you are restricting, we can say, the visitor, right? Or you want to restrict that visitor or anonymous user, all those pages you need to create into this particular directory, right? So here in we can say secure pages, I am just creating a one web page. You can give any name, say secure.aspx or something like that, right? And here nothing is there, we are just writing a simple message in the h1 tag, this is a secure page. Okay, fine. So this is the page. Now what we are doing is we are just providing a hyperlink of this particular page on a default.aspx. Fine. Now I'll just run we can say this default.aspx, and we'll just click on this secure.aspx, right? Currently what will be my status? Is I'm an authenticated user? No, I'm a visitor, I'm an anonymous user, right? Now suppose if I'm clicking on this secure.aspx page, will it open? Yes, obviously, because currently we haven't given or we haven't enforced any security rule, right? Fine. Now you just close this. What we need to do is we just have to secure this hyperlink, we just need to secure our this particular page so that only those users who are authenticated user can view this page, right? We don't want to allow anonymous user or visitor on this particular page, right? So for that what we need to do, so first of all you just open ASP.NET configuration, you go to the security. Fine. Now you just click on create access rule, right? So here we are just creating a rule. Okay, on which directory you want to specify the rule? So obviously my rule will be fixed on secure pages, right? On the website 25 everybody is allowed, anonymous user is allowed, because if you are restricting a user from a website route, no page can be opened, right? Only it will show you one page, that is a login page, right? So here I want to show my default page, no problem, sign up page, login page, right, to the visitor, and forgot password page. These 4 pages I want to allow to every user, so that pages I have placed on a website 25, right? And now the pages whatever I am placing into the secure pages directory, right, I just want to set a rule for that. Now what will be the rule? So here you select the secure pages first, because we are just designing a access rule for this particular directory. So first you need to select the directory. What is the rule? I just want to restrict anonymous user. So second, what type of user? Anonymous user. And you want to allow anonymous user, or you want to restrict or deny that anonymous user? So we want to deny, right? And you just need to click on OK button. Fine. So here if you click on this manage access rule, it will show you this is the directory secure pages. On that what rule you have given? Deny anonymous, right? Means in this directory secure pages, anonymous user means a visitor is not allowed, right? So this is what the rule I have set. Fine. Now you just close this, again run the website and see. Now you just give answer, right? Let's suppose if I am clicking on the secure page, what happened? Will the secure page be open? Obviously not, because now we have given a security rule. So suppose now if I am clicking on a secure.aspx, make sure I haven't done a login, I am a visitor, I am an anonymous user, right? And now suppose if I am clicking on the secure page, right, or secure.aspx, what it will do? It will show the error message. See, if you click on a secure page, it will automatically redirect you on the login page, right? Why it is redirecting us to the login page? Because we do not have a sufficient privileges, right? If you want to access this particular page, then we have to log in, right? Okay, fine. Now suppose, chalo, we have just opened a default.aspx and now I am just doing a login, right? Fine. So after login, I will be redirected to the default.aspx. Now I have done a login. Now I am not anonymous user. Now I am not visitor, right? Now suppose if I am clicking on this secure page, secure.aspx, then what happen? Obviously that page gets open, right? So without, entering a username and password, user cannot see this page. Okay. I know there are certain students are there, they are just thinking, okay, sir, what will we do is after login, I will just copy this URL, right? And then we will just do the logout, right? And then what will we do is URL is copied, it is saved into the notepad file. Now we open the browser and we will paste that URL, right? હવે તો સર ઓપન થઈ જશે ને, we know the URL, see, right? So even though if you have a URL, still you can not open that page unless and until you are not giving your username and password, right? हाँ हाँ हाँ, it is possible, right? Windows માં થઈ જશે, but that is for intranet site. Currently we are discussing those sites which is related to the internet, right? It is having its own database. The website is having its own database. It is not considering a Windows user as its own user, right? So this is what we are just designing as we can say website, not an intranet site. Fine. So this thing is clear. Now another thing, right? For example, we'll just run this web page again, right? Now suppose if I am just clicking on this secure page, we know that it is showing what is a username and login screen, right? Now suppose if we are doing a login, right? So after login, what it will do? It will redirect you on a default page, because see, every time whenever I logs into the system using this login control, it is every time it is redirecting me on a default.aspx, right? But see, this time, right, if you click on this login button, you will be redirected to the secure.aspx. Why it is happen so? Because you have clicked here on the secure.aspx. So obviously your website has to drop on which page? Obviously that has to be on a secure.aspx, but you do not have a privileges to view this, right? Because you have not given a username and password, you have not performed the authentication stage. So time being, it is sending you on a login, and after login again it will brings you on a secure.aspx, right? So you know how fantastically everything is designed by the ASP.NET, right? Okay, now we are just going to the third stage. That is, let's suppose now here you can put any page, but make sure this page will not be opened by that user who has not performed the authentication stage, right? So in this directory, right, suppose if you are creating a 4 pages, then all 4 pages will be accessible only by the authenticated user, and anonymous user cannot open that, right? Without login it will not be open. Now see, one more thing I have to show. You just click on a refresh button, and once you click on a refresh button, here a new web.config file gets created, right? And this is a special web.config file for this directory, right? And we'll just see what is actually written in this web.config file. So you just do the double click on this web.config file here, right? Authorization, that is a XML tag, it is used, right? And in that, what is the thing written? Deny user question mark. Now what is question mark? Question mark means anonymous user are not allowed. Fine. Now suppose, sir, we have three or four users, right? And all these three users are admin. So how can we do this thing? Okay, fine. So suppose here, now we are just talking about how to create or manage roles, groups, right? So you just go to the security. First, what you need to do is, there are 3 to 4 users are there, and all 3 4 users are admin. So in that case, what we need to do is, you just need to create, sorry, first you need to click on enable role, then you have to create or manage role, right? Then what will be the name of that role? I just want to create admin role, right? See, any name you can give, right? That can be, you know, clerk, accountant, right? So that person who is actually using your, you know, website, everybody can be a role, right? For example, that if we are talking about our college, then you know the Falguni ma'am and some other clerks are there. So the clerk will be a one role, accountant will be another role, then faculties will be another role, students, that will be another role, right? So you know, depends on your application, you can create a different rules. I have created one role, and that is the admin, right? Administrator. Now what you need to do is, you just need to click on a manage. Right now it is not showing any user here, right? Because the thing is, you know, admin, we have just recently created this admin rule, and there is no user is there who is actually binded to this particular role. So now what you need to do is, you just need to click on all, right? In fact, let's suppose if you click on A, it will show all the users whose username starts with A. If you click on X, it will show you all the username whose username starts with X. And if you click on all, so it will show you all the username. But see, because this ABC and XYZ user we have created in a prior to, you know, this admin role, right? So they are not actually a member of this admin role. Now what I want to do is, I just want to bring this ABC as admin, right? So what I will do is, I will just select this. Okay, what it mean? Now ABC is a member of admin role. You just click on back, you just go to home, you just go to security, you just go to, you know, create or manage role. This is a role, you just click on manage. There is one user is there, right? Sir mare fari thi, suppose if I want to bring that XYZ user into this role, then okay, click on this all, do the tick mark here, right? And then that XYZ user will comes to this particular role. Fine. But you know, we are actually testing the security, right? So obviously one user that has to be outsider, है ना? एक user ने बाहर भी रखो पड़ता, नहीं तो how you will test? If ABC logs in, admin page gets open. If XYZ logs in, admin page gets open, because both the users are a member of admin role. So here what we need to do is, हाँ, if you wish कि सर अजू एक भाई user हो बनाओ ने group से, तो एक थी तो थोड़ी group बने. Okay, fine. So in that case, what we can do is, I'm just creating a new user, right? So create new user. Here, now you just change here. See the change here, right? In the role panel, now there is one role is there, which is called the admin. Now when you are creating a new user, for example, let's suppose PQR, and at the time of, you know, user creation, if you feel so this user has to be a admin, at that time what you need to do is, you just need to do the tick mark here, right? So at the time of, you know, user creation, you can bring that particular user to the particular role, right? If you just click on a create user and see, we'll just go ahead with home and security, and then create or manage a role. Here admin rule is there. If you click on a manage, so now ABC and PQR are the user of admin role, right? Admin group, ABC, PQR, these are the user who belongs to admin group. And suppose if you click on all, so obviously we have a 3 user, ABC, PQR, XYZ. XYZ do not belongs to admin role, but ABC and PQR belongs to admin role. Fine. Now this is what the scenario, and let's suppose here you just click on yes. See, I'm just creating a new folder, right? So sorry, I just need to create a new folder. So admin pages, fine. And here obviously I will place all those pages on which only admin user is allowed. Admin is not user, admin is a role. So those user who are actually belongs to that admin role, that those users are allowed into this directory, right? So I'm just creating a new page, and this will be we can say home page for the admin, right? And I am just providing a link of this particular page on our website, right? So here we just put it, right? Now we just have to secure this directory, because let currently not admin, right? Suppose if anybody without login, if anybody is clicking on this admin.aspx, that page gets open, right? Admin.aspx. Okay, fine, we'll write something into this page, right? So I'm just writing here in the h1 tag, this is admin page, okay? And see, if you run this, anybody can open this, because we currently we haven't given any security, right? So even visitor can open this admin page, right? Now we just have to secure this. So how can we assign a security? So you just open the website administrative tool. You just need to click on a security. You just have to create the access rule. Now here we need to create a 2 access rule. Which 2 access rule? The first, we are assigning a security on which directory? Admin pages, right? Here I am just giving a first rule on this directory, admin pages, role admin, right? Role admin is allowed. So that is what the first thing. I am just giving a second rule on this admin pages, all user deny. Make sure all user deny. There is a difference is there between the anonymous user and all user, right? You just click on OK button. Now see, you just close this, go to the web config file, so refresh, go to the web config file. Here in the authorization XML tag, right, which 2 entries then? Allow role admin, deny user star. Fine. Now see, what will we do is we'll just go ahead with a default page. You just run it. Let if I'm currently I haven't perform a login, right? So I'm not cleared that authentication stage. Now let's suppose if I'm clicking on a secure .aspx, will the secure page gets open? Obviously no, right? Because to open the secure page you need to log in. Fine. Okay. Will this admin.aspx gets open? Obviously no, right? To open this particular page you have to log in with that user who is actually a member of admin role. Fine. Now I'm just doing a login with XYZ. XYZ, no? XYZ was not actually a member. Fine. So XYZ $123. Fine. So you just click on. Now you have logged in as a XYZ user. Will the secure.aspx gets open? Yes, because now you are an authenticated user, and if you are authenticated user, that secure page gets open. But now suppose if I am clicking on this admin.aspx, then this page gets open? No, right? What is the reason? Because you have logged in as a XYZ user, and XYZ is not belong to admin role. So this is the thing. Okay. Now suppose I'm just clicking on logout and I'm just logs in to ABC user, right? ABC is what? It is a member of admin role, right? So now if you logs in as a admin, ABC is nothing, it's a admin, because ABC is a username, but that person is actually belongs to this admin role. So now suppose if I'm clicking on a secure.aspx, it gets open? Yes, because you have logged in as a ABC user, and once you logs in, secure page gets open. Fine. Let's suppose if I'm clicking on this admin.aspx, Again yes, because you have logs in as a what, ABC user. ABC is a member of that admin role, and so that those user who are a member of that admin role, they can open this page. So this page gets open. Getting this? Fine. So I think in the security, right, we are just keeping our session up to here, right? In the next session we will discuss few more things which is related to the user management. We'll see how can we create the profile and all, right? Currently I'm just taking a pause, right? In the next session few more things we will discuss, and let's suppose if you have any questions